This is MC Tone, come from the 757, spin nothing but the truth. Cleveland, this is for you. The NFL team breakdown. It's the Cleveland Browns, man. And what a last year for the Cleveland Browns, man. It was pretty rough for y'all, man. All that talking y'all did, all that hype y'all had in the season. Hey, man, one thing about the NFL, if you can talk the talk, but if you can't walk the walk, it's a different story, man. It was a lot of hype coming off of this team, man, and I thought that was a bad thing coming in, especially with the rookie head coach who's never been a head coach nor a coordinator in this league. At the end of the day, Freddie Kitchens wasn't the man. I think he didn't bring in the correct discipline that this team needed, especially when it came at the quarterback position with Baker Mayfield. I think he didn't do anything to help protect himself and give himself some time to grow. He had a great rookie season, but I think it was just too much for him as the expectations were just way too much to me. And adding Odell Beckham, sometimes he feel like he was just forcing them, and sometimes I think that he just wasn't all the way there during the season. I think he looked confused. I think he rolled out to his right way too much. I know the offensive line was not good, but still, there were plays to me when I was looking at games where he would just roll to his right, even when the pocket wasn't collapsing on him. And it just, to me, that was just not being disciplined. And that was just him being a young quarterback and just being overwhelmed from the situation and the pressure and the expectation that was put upon him. But I think he still has a lot of talent in this league. I think he has room to grow. I think he's going to need to come in camp in better shape, and I think he has, with a better mindset. And I'm glad he admitted that he made a mistake, and I think that's a man that's one step of him growing. But let me get down to this breakdown, man. The Cleveland Browns, their head coach is Kevin Stefanski, coming out of Minnesota, man. And I think they're going to get back to running that football, man. I think when you got Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt coming back, I think you need to run that football, especially Kareem, what he can do in the passing game. I look more in the screen game. Look what they did for Dalvin Cook. Kevin Stefanski did for Dalvin Cook, especially in the screen game and the running game. I think he's definitely going to bring an extra punch to that run game that was definitely on the upside last year, especially with Nick Chubb running the football. And I like their defensive coordinator that they got, Joe Woods, man, out of the 49ers. He was the pass game coordinator, and he was a defensive back. He was a defensive back coach, and I expected an improved secondary. You got Greedy Williams, and you got Denzel Ward. Denzel Ward, top 5 corner in my league. He definitely worth that draft pick that they got him in the top 10. Greedy Williams, to me, out of LSU, man, his name says it all, man. I think he can be one of the most selfish quarterbacks. Hopefully he can have an improvement in his rookie season. Had a definitely solid rookie season. But let's go to draft picks. I think this was a must-need for them. No other option was Jedrick Willis out of Alabama. To me, he was one of the best offensive tackles on the board, which was a deep class of offensive tackles. But it was great that the Cleveland Browns got what they were looking for. He's going to be playing left tackle, and I'm so happy that Baker Mayfield finally gets that protection, especially with Jack Conklin playing the right tackle to help solidify those 2 tackle positions. You got Grant Deplete. He fell to the second round, but I think with like I said, with Joe Woods, like I said, the 49ers, their passing game was ranked number 1 last year. So Joe Woods, especially with a young rookie safety coming in, he can help that situation and ease them into it. You got Jordan Elliott out of Missouri. I think that was a great another pickup, a solid rusher, and he could do his thing in the middle, hold down for the run game. You got Jacob Phillips out of LSU that had a strong year last year. A linebacker, great LSU defense. Harrison Bryant, Nick Harris, and Donovan Peoples-Jones out of Michigan, another wide receiver. The offense, offense and defense, they were in the middle of the pack, so they had a lot of potential. You had a lot of upside in this offense and defense in the Cleveland Browns offense, and defense. To me, there was room to grow, but you could see the potential that it had. When you have Odell Beckham Jr., you got Jarvis Landry. Now you got Austin Hooper. You didn't have David Njoku all last season for real and towards the end, but when you have that many weapons on offense, what a Nick Chubb, what a Kareem Hunt, and now you got a solidified offensive line. This should be a top 10 offense to me. I want to see Baker Mayfield take that next step. I think Kevin Stefanski is definitely going to make it more easier on him. I would look to see more play action fake and run some stuff that he's really comfortable with. They ranked all in offensive plays. They ranked 26th. Time of possession, they're 13th. Points 22. Yards 22. Passing yards 22. Passing touchdowns 19th. Rushing yards 12th. Rushing touchdowns 15th. Red zone touchdowns 16th. And overall touchdowns is 18th. Like I said, it's definitely room to grow for this offense. It's Baker Mayfield, still a young quarterback, still learning what it means to be a quarterback, and that's just not even a physical standpoint or a talent standpoint. It's just sometimes the quarterback position is definitely a mental standpoint, and hopefully he just gets better. And defensive wise, they have a lot of defensive talent, but they rank 20th in points, yards 22, pass yards 7, passing touchdowns 17th, rushing yards they were 30th, which was shocking. Rushing touchdowns 28, red zone touchdowns 26, overall touchdowns 20, times of possession 13. They were 8th in interceptions. And like I said, they got Myles Garret and they got Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams. They now picked up Grant Deplete. They picked up Kevin Johnson. And who else did they have? And they had Carl Joseph out of the Raiders, a former first round pick. So that really helped solidify the secondary, man. And I think Joe Woods is gonna come up there and hopefully approve that situation. Like I said, he was first. The 49ers passing game on defense, they ranked first. So hopefully Joe Woods can come over there, change things around. The defense is not bad. They're definitely talented. The only thing that I worry about this defense is in the middle, in terms of defensive tackle and linebacker. And I know they're not really deep in the linebacker position. Some key free agent signings that I like are Jack Conklin is definitely, I think Case Keenum as a backup is definitely solid. B.J. Goodson, linebacker. Carl Joseph was definitely a solid signing. Andrew Billings in the defensive tackle helped had some depth to that defense line. Kevin Johnson at the cornerback position. Andrew Sadejo out of the Minnesota, man. He's familiar with the system. And Adrian Claiborne at the defensive end position. I really like that, man. His pass rate for rushing the passer was pretty good, man. And like I said, with this Cleveland Browns team, it's all about discipline to me, man. Can they be disciplined? I think Odell Beckham Jr., to me, he had a quiet year, man. He seemed focused. I know he was banged up last season, so he really wasn't himself, but he still had 1,000 yards receiving. Jarvis Landry, another talent at the wide receiver position. You got Austin Hooper, who can be that safety blanket. Like I said, this Cleveland Browns team, to me, I feel like they made the right hire. It wasn't a sexy hire, but I did definitely believe in this was a great hire. 10th time's a charm to me. That's their 10th head coach since 1999. But like I said, I think Kevin Stefanski coming out of Mike Zimmerman brings that discipline and brings that focus that this team needs. I think this team needs a quiet off season in terms of no noise. Just get to work and let's see what happens when the season starts. Come like a quiet storm. Baltimore, they came like a quiet storm. People knew who Baltimore was, but you didn't hear them talking and talking and talking. The Cleveland Browns, be who you want to be, but let your game speak for itself. And one thing that's about football, you're gonna have to let your game speak to itself when you step on that field, not just talk the talk. And Baker Mayfield, I think he's just done a better job of just calming down the hype, taking responsibility, and just worrying about just trying to get better next season, this season coming up. I think they're gonna get back to running the football. And I like that with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, who I think Nick Chubb is definitely a top 5 back. This team is definitely I wouldn't say a contender, but I'm definitely saying they're on the right track now. I got them finishing second in the division, finishing strong. I think their upside is 10-6. I got them finishing 10-6, maybe 11-5. I think the downside is 7-9 if Baker Mayfield doesn't take that next step. But he has the potential, man. I think some plays he missed. I think he rolled out to his right a little bit too much. The offensive line was a problem. He was getting torn up last season. He was getting torn up, and I think they revamped it. I think they're gonna bring a new scheme to help with the offensive line, and I'm just happy that the Cleveland Browns feel like they finally got it right. I have a good feeling about y'all, and I think y'all gonna make the playoffs next year. Y'all are definitely a playoffs team. So just let me know. Subscribe if you like the video. Your thoughts and your opinions. I'll reach back out as fast as I can. Thank you for your time. Tone out.